Lil Pump 2 dropped last Friday, and I have a bit to say about it because of how little I have to say about it. With every project, not even music or just any structured project in general, you get the big five: who, what, when, where, and why. And for the life of me, I can't answer any of these questions when I think about Lil Pump 2. Well, kinda, except for the where part, because Warner Brothers is nowhere in sight. They did not renew their one album contract after Harvard dropout. So without a studio backing him, you would have found out about this album in one of two ways. One of them being the incessant TikTok campaign where Pump would perform that new Tesla song in a weird skit-like way. It reminds me of those weird vines where like the wacky character comes into the studio and they're actually really good at rapping, and then the producer is all surprised like, wow, this weirdo not rapper guy is actually a rapper. He's rapping? The rapper is rapping? The other way you might have heard about this album is the clowning of the song Pump Rock x Heavy Metal. You would have seen the snippet on social media, and it's really tough to listen to. It's so strange.
Pump rock shit, yeah. Slit my wrist, slit, fuck that bitch, drop top whips,
When people are making comparisons to Soul Train, then you have some serious problems on your hands. I've always had an issue with Lil Pump's lyrics, not because of the repetitiveness or if they're unoriginal, nothing like that, but just some of these lyrics are so abrasive and weird that they actually feel so uncomfortable to be sung like this. You ever seen two pregnant bitches in a fist fight? If I OD on Wockheart, just let me die? Damn. She had a seizure doing Zans while I drank a beer? Hold up, I'm finna call the ambulance. I just don't understand it. It's just so jarring. It's like parody almost. One thing you'll notice in the promotion from all of this, I don't know if it was intentional, but Lil Pump is feeling very 2018.
Lil Pump? What are you doing here? Do you want to record? Do you want to record?
From the catchphrases to the rhyme scheme, I would be sooner off believing he had been frozen for 5 years than coming to terms with the fact that he hasn't progressed artistically at all. He's even late to the whole cashing in by naming your project a sequel party, like come on. We are seeing a massive trend in the recent years of rappers and single genre artists reinventing their sound to stay afloat in this never-ending sea of copycats and detractors. It is so strange to see someone celebrating their lack of change. Still popping that molly, still swerving that Rory. If you think it sounds like it was made last decade, then chances are you're probably right. Looking into the history of these songs on this album, there are some absolute fossils. But I'm gonna go even deeper. Like almost exactly a month earlier, Pump released an EP called Tesla, which is probably all the songs he recorded independently. Everything else, I'm assuming, was recorded in like a limbo state of Warner Brothers hell that he somehow got back into his possession, which would explain why some verses in previous leaks didn't get cleared, like the Trippy verse. These independent songs seem a little more Rage era inspired, like Mosh Pit, and we're left with like these two weird half albums mashed together into this mess of nothingness. Still no clue where Pump Rock x Heavy Metal comes into all this. I just don't want to think about it. It makes me much happier that way. For someone who in their music sounds so uninspired, he is really persistent to have his sound out there. I really miss the unhinged craziness of the old Lil Pump, shooting a hole in his front door, smoking between a porn star's toes, forefronting the biggest artist W of all time for getting an advanced payout on an illegal contract. Now just whatever charm that the earlier releases have are completely gone, and all that these projects have to stand on is a sound that was popular 5 years ago and a refusal to adapt. And any deviation from this formula is either undercooked or just outright offensive. From songs doing 500 million, 600 million, 1 billion to 3 million, 1.9 million, 100,000. A 99% drop off is a generous percentage. There is just no demand for the sound that Lil Pump has right now. No one is checking in on him. This is evident because he actually released an album December 2021 and no one said anything. That's where I pulled those 100,000 numbers from. And then I found him in some random Hindi rap song in the middle of last year.
DJ Shadow, Lil Pump.
This newfound love to put effort into your brand and music just feels too little too late. Rap is just so quick and evolving, and that's what makes it such an exciting genre to follow, but it's also why it's so volatile for the artists that get swept up in these trends. If Lil Pump can't keep up, then we're just gonna have to leave him behind. If you are a fan of listening to exactly the same song 16 times, I'd say give it a listen. If you want some nostalgia, listen to the single Tesla. It's actually a nice reminder of the best days for this duo. But this so far is my least favorite listen of the year, closely followed by Mansion Music. Let me know what you thought of the album, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.